Okay, hello everyone. If you're brand new to my channel and just randomly clicked upon this video, let me introduce myself first. My name is Lauren and I am in the 40th cohort of CBYX YP. I'm currently sitting in my Studentenwohnheim, or my dorm room here in Hanover, Germany, and I am closing out my last 6 weeks here. I'm assuming that you have made it into the Congress Bundestag Youth Exchange for Young Professionals. First of all, give yourself a round of applause because that is quite the achievement. I thought, because looking back at this time last year, I was anxiously awaiting any more information that the program organizers would be giving me upon, what my next year would look like in Germany, and I was a little discouraged to find very little on the internet. So I thought I would make a quick video giving whatever tips and advice I can give for this kind of pre-departure time period of the program. So without further ado, let me get into my tips. And if I look a little bit to the side, it's because I have my notes here. I found my pre-departure seminars and required courses that we had to take this summer before we left not entirely helpful and not enlightening whatsoever. I also felt during some of the webinars where we got to talk specifically to the program organizers that my questions were not thoroughly answered and sometimes swept under the rug with the excuse that we would get those answers clarified later. And if that just adds a little bit of anxiety, or if you also feel that these required intercultural courses that you may have to take are kind of, I don't know how to say this lightly, a joke, you're not alone. It's, I think that was a common feeling in my cohort. I think a lot of us are very high achieving students. I mean, we found this program even though it's underground, and we have the desire to push ourselves out of our comfort zone to go a year abroad. So to have an intercultural training that just says, please be aware everyone wears different perspective glasses, and no matter, our own backgrounds, they affect our worldview. It's like, yeah, duh. So that's what I learned from the Goethe Institute Intercultural Training, is that, shocker, everybody has a different perspective on the world. So keep that in mind. I think it would have been a lot more helpful, in case any organizers are watching this video, if you have an intercultural training that's a little bit more specific to Germany and a little bit more specific to the German view of Americans and what you're going to be walking into. I think that would have been a lot more helpful to understand kind of the viewpoints that Germans have of America, the preconceived notions that you might come across, because we were just kind of thrown into it and had to figure out the nuances ourselves. I felt a lot of stress about the idea of having to try to find an internship before I even knew where my permanent placement was. And while starting early with the internship search is important, I just want you to know that you're on a need-to-know basis with the program organizers. Just to give you some context, I didn't know what language school I was going to be going to until 2 weeks before we left for Germany. I also didn't know where my permanent placement was until 2 weeks before language school ended. And so there's just a lot of limbo. There's a lot of living in the gray and a lot of just kind of being uncomfortable with not knowing what the future holds. If you're a planner like me, you're going to be like, oh my God, just give me the information. Why can't you give me the information? Let me plan. And the program's going to say, we're working on it. We're working on it. Because, they are. That being said, it is helpful this summer. Update your resume. Think about what skills you have. Think about what key type of job roles you're looking for, what skill set you have that you want to capitalize on, because the language school portion is going to be the easiest time to set aside some extra time to work on the internship search. I have to say the program this year provided a really helpful career, finding an internship in Germany workshop that was specifically designed for CBYX students in mind. Take advantage of that. Look at the course. Set aside an hour every day to be prepping some stuff. I think the language school portion kind of felt like summer camp for me. And so it was really easy to just get lost in the going to language course and then hanging out in the afternoons and meeting up with everyone and doing day trips everywhere and kind of pushing the internship search off, which kind of bit me in the butt at the end. So set yourself up enough time. But the program's going to tell you this is not a career progression program, and it's not. That's not their goal. Their goal is cultural immersion. So that doesn't mean that you can't get cultural progression out of this program, but if you want to do that, start early. In terms of any other prep I can say for pre-departure, any German knowledge that you can acquire in the next few months, do it. I know a lot of people have absolutely no German. A few people took a course in college, There's like a few people who majored in German, but any bit of German can help you and will set you up for success in language school. Most Germans can speak English, especially younger Germans, so it's not really a requirement and to be able to live a comfortable life. But if you really want to feel part of the culture and learn things that you couldn't otherwise learn without the language, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to try to get as much German as you can beforehand, especially when you get a placement test for language school. You're going to save so much time if you can get A1 under your belt this summer and not have to take the A1 course, because when you finish A1, at that point, you know, like numbers, colors, and how to say your name. So get that out of the way before you leave so that the language school portion, you can get the most out of it. Okay, so that was like pre-departure. Now, this next section is specifically for orientation start. So like the first week of the program, your orientation in Washington, D.C., and then your orientation in Germany when you arrive. I remember feeling so weird during the D.C. orientation. I just had so many nerves and jitters, and I was just really anxious about trying to get to know every single person in my cohort. I had this like, if any of you watch the show Survivor, I don't know why, but I felt like I gotta make alliances. I need to make friends. Like, I don't want to be the loner. I need to set myself up for success, because if I don't make connections here in DC, then when I go to Germany, I'm gonna be like totally lost. Like, I don't know why. That's just me. Also, I've talked to my introverted friends, and they're like, that's an extrovert problem. I was chilling. I was like, just going with the flow. So if you're an extrovert and feel that way, you're not alone. If you're an introvert and don't feel that way, you're also not alone. If that's you, just relax. Just relax. It's not the end of the world if you don't feel like you're besties with every single person, because you're going to have plenty of opportunities in the language school portion to get to know the others in your cohort. And I would say, really, the language school people are the people that you're going to become closest to. There's 75 of us. There's no way to get to know everyone on a personal level. And then when they split you up into the various language schools, that's kind of where you get that smaller, tight-knit group. And that kind of sticks throughout the rest of the year when you meet up for mid-year seminar and end-year seminar, is that you always kind of feel closest and most familiar with those from your language school. The sleep deprivation you're going to feel coming from DC to entry seminar is rough. And the program organizers will do everything they can to keep you awake that first day in Germany so that you're just switching to the German sleep schedule and time zone. But we all felt like zombies. I mean, we were all kind of like high and jittery in DC, and so a lot of people stayed out late and they didn't get a lot of sleep because they were just like, everything's new. And then to go to Frankfurt and then be like, don't go to sleep, stay up. And they had like little activities for us to do to try to keep us awake. We were like, but just live through it. Don't sleep. It does do you better just to like live through the sleep deprivation so that you can survive and quickly get into the German time zone. That's when they're going to give you name tags. At least this is what they did for my year. Give you name tags with people's language school. Again, not entirely helpful because your brain is still like, oh my God, I'm in Germany. And you're not thinking like, oh, that's Radolfzell. Oh, she's in Cologne. Or oh, he's in Saarbrücken. It's when you get on the bus after the Germany like entry seminar, you get on the bus and they split you up into the language schools, and you look at the bus and you're like, I didn't talk to anyone. How is that? All the people from my language school, not the ones I talked to during orientation. Once again, didn't become an issue. My bestie in the program, I ended up meeting her, I think, on the bus there and telling her I liked her backpack. The friends that you make during language school, the friends that you make in your cohort, are the friends that are gonna like help you survive a year abroad, because no one else will fully understand how it feels like to be in this program besides the people in your cohort. So don't take them for granted and make those connections so that you can vent to each other over text or, you know, share funny moments, and they'll understand, oh my gosh, like, yep, that's how it feels to be XYZ in Germany. For the months that are coming up, I think that's all you really need to know. I know it's not a whole lot of information, but I think it's enough to give you some more concrete to-dos or maybe some thoughts for as you prepare. This is, like I said, gonna be a crazy year, but I think it's something that you will never regret doing. Just know that you're capable, you're selected for a reason, and you're gonna learn so much about yourself in Germany, of course, throughout the course of this year. There's no other way you'll be able to live abroad in Germany for as cheaply and stress-free as through this program. So Maybe you could do au pairing, which I did previously, but I do not recommend. So do that at your own risk. I hope this video was short and helpful. And if you have any other questions, I'm an open book. Comment below, send me a direct message. I'm happy to make another video. I'm happy to have FaceTime calls or email exchanges with anyone who's got just random questions to ask. I know when I was preparing for this year, I scoured the internet. I literally went on like 100, you search on Google and there's like Google pages. I was like at the 100th Google page just trying to find anything that was specifically for the young professionals division, because most of the content I find online is for the high schoolers. So if I can be helpful at all, I am here as a resource. I wish you all the best of luck and viel Glück und liebe Grüße. Tschüss.